Hey everybody, this is Linda with Stamping School. I want to show you an old fun fold. It's called the Flip Flop card, and it's been around for ages and ages, but it's a really great card to mail. It's flat, and it gives that little element of surprise when they open it, and it fits in a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so it's a regular A2 size card, and then they can open it up and display it. So it's basically a Z fold with a little bit of a trick on cutting these out without cutting out the whole circle. Here's another one we're going to do. This is using the Fitting Florets die, and there's a little bit of a trick to get the paper to go reverse like that. I'll show you what that is. But let's start with this one first and the basic fold. So the card is 4 1/4 by 8 inches. And you're going to score it at 2 3/4 and then 4 inches, and that gives you 1 1/4 inches here in the middle. Now, if you want the designer paper on here, you're going to need to put it on before you cut. Because this panel is 2 3/4, then this can be 2 1/2 by 4 inches, and that layers here. And this one, because this is 4 inches, this is 3 3/4 by 4 inches. And I'll just add this on quickly so you can see, and then we'll cut. Now, normally you would not have pen marks here like I did, but I want you to be able to see. So we're going to use a circle right in the center and take some painter's tape or some low-tack tape, and you're going to adhere this down right along your score line. So put that die down, and that's going to help you see where to stop. And it keeps that die in place. I did the same thing on this line. So now what we need to do is cut this, but not cut all the way around, otherwise we'll have a big hole. So we need to cut just around here. So if you don't have a die cutting machine and you're using a template of some kind, then you can just use your X-Acto blade, craft knife, whatever, and just cut along here, cut along and stop at your score line so that you end up with this. See, we're just going to cut just a little bit of it. So I have my machine here, and you've got your basic die cutting set up. You've got it, your die adapter and your platform and one of your plates, just like you would normally die cut this circle. But the top plate is going to change position a little bit. We're going to slide it through, but we're only going to place it up to the score line here. So that's going to stop the cutting. So we're going to put it right up to your score line on this side. And then as you slide it through and your handle moves, you can cut it. And it's just going to cut that little bit. And then now we need to do the other side. So turn it around. I like having the machine on the side for this so I can actually see my score lines. Go right to the score line. Again, hold it down, start to push it through, your handle starts to move, and then you can go through, and you'll hear boom when it's done. And then you can gently take this off, and you've got your circle cut. Yeah. And these don't need to stick on there, you're going to cover that up. Now, your fold is going to be whichever way you want this to go. I like the short one to be on the left, but it's up to you. But you're just going to go mountain and valley, and basically it's that Z fold that looks like that. Now all you have to do is cover it. So in this case, I added a little strip of designer paper in the middle, and then I covered it with a little scallop circle. And pay attention to what's happening when you do this, because when the card arrives, this is how it will look. So you want to put something here, a little peekaboo detail or something, and they are always going to turn the card over anyway. So you can sign it here, you can add a panel here and here if you want more room to write. And it's really cute. So let's do something different and use this die right here. And see how I have the base of the cardstock peeking through, and then I added the designer paper behind it. So it's a little bit of a trick. So I'm going to show you how to do that. In this case, this is over on the left side, but it really doesn't matter which way. It just happened to be the way that I glued it down. It's still the same size. And I'm starting with Mary Merlot because I just grabbed this designer paper right here. Now, because we want to take some of this designer paper and flip it to the back side, what you have to do is not glue down right here. So we're going to go around just the outside edges because we want to take that designer paper and use it for the other side. So don't glue here. So you're only going to glue all around the edges. That's so pretty already. I forget about this paper from the annual catalog. It's so pretty. Here, around. Don't glue here. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing. This goes right in the middle. This is that pretty die. Right in the middle. I'm going to tape it down along my score lines, which I've made white so you could see them. And I'm going to tape it down on this side to there. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to run it through. Bring the plate in. Got to get it through there. So you're only going to do a part of it. All right, so we line the plate up just to your score line. And then roll it through. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. Gotta start pushing it a little bit just to get it going, and then you're good. Sorry for the loud noise. You guys are watching this at 1 o'clock in the morning and waking somebody up in the household. All right, this comes off, and this part comes off. You could save those if you want to, but we want these right here. Take these off. Pop out all of those little extra pieces. Now, if I run this die through again with white cardstock, it'll make a white frame I can use for later. And then I can just stamp this and add this in the middle. I won't stamp it, but just so you can see how it looks. Okay, oops, I forgot to put that designer paper in the middle. I do like something in the middle. This is the back side. I can do it like this, which might be kind of pretty, or that. Well, let's do that. Let's do this one. 1 inch by 4 inch. Remember, the directions are right below in the description. Be sure you expand the descriptions. All right, now we can add this right on top. Stamp it first with whatever sentiment you want and decorations or whatever. And now on the back side, this is where you can add another oval, and now you can glue these on back here, and it just gives a nice little extra something something when they turn it over. I think it's fun, just like that. So let me show you on this one again so it makes sense. There's the front basically, and now here is the other side. Just gives it a little extra something in the back so it's not so plain. And you could cut this, put designer paper here and cut it. It's a lot to go through 3 layers, but you could try. And there it is, the flip-flop. Go make one. We'll see you next time. See it, learn it, stamp it.